Shelly VanCura, and welcome again to In the American Kitchen. And this time, we're going to be healthy. Our guest today is a registered dietitian, Shelly Schwartz. Hi, Shelly.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So what are we going to make today?
We are going to make a healthy granola.
Okay, our very own, homemade?
Homemade granola.
Okay.
Yep, has a lot less ingredients than the stuff you can buy in the stores. You know all the ingredients that are going in, so you can control calories, you can control flavor. It's up to your imagination.
And we're going to make something really tasty too, not only healthy.
After that, we're going to make parfait using the granola that we just made.
Okay, what do we put in our parfait?
Parfaits usually are yogurt, some kind of fruit mixture, a sweetener of some sort, and then you can top it with a little bit of cinnamon.
Sounds good. Well, let's get going. Okay, Shelly, we're ready to start our granola. What's our first step?
First thing you want to do is preheat your oven at 275, which we've already done. And you also want to take your baking sheets and line them with some parchment paper. And then you can set them off aside.
Well, let's put this to the side.
Next, we're going to take the oats, which I use the old-fashioned oats. They're a little bit healthier because they're less processed, but either kind of oat is fine. But if you're going to use the old-fashioned, what you want to do is you want to roll them or break the oats up a little bit. We have a food processor here, so we can just put them in there and pulse it a couple times. I'll show you how we do that. If you don't have a food processor on hand, what you can do is just put them on a baking sheet and take a rolling pin and crush them up that way.
Okay.
And that'll be just fine.
And how much oats?
We're going to use 8 cups of oats today.
8 cups of oats.
8 cups, yeah.
Okay.
And so we're just going to pulse it just to break them up a little bit. So about 5 or 6 times would be fine. That looks good.
Okay, makes it a lot easier, huh?
And we'll just put this off to the side. And we have some already done here, but this was just to show you how we do that.
Okay, so this is our 8 cups of oats.
Right.
Already rolled.
Already rolled, right. And to that we're going to add 2 cups of slivered almonds if you'd like. If you'd prefer pecans, you can use that, walnuts, anything you want. Again, leave it to your imagination. I like the almonds, the slivered almonds. So we're going to add those in. This adds good monounsaturated fat. It also helps keep you feeling full longer because it does have some protein in it.
Okay. So almonds, that's a good choice?
It is a good choice. It's a good healthy fat for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And now this isn't something that I have on the original recipe, but it's something you can add. It gives it a little bit of a nutty flavor. It's wheat germ. And it has vitamin E, folic acid, vitamin B. It also has a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. So this is something you can add in if you'd like.
Now, where would you buy that?
Most grocery stores have it.
Okay.
I believe I've seen it in the cereal aisle.
Okay, so you're making us healthy here, right?
Exactly, exactly. So you just pour this in, and Sally, if you want to get your hands in there and just give it a little stir.
Okay. We have both washed our hands before this, so we're safe.
And that was a cup of wheat germ, so if it is something that you are interested in adding when you make it yourself, it would be about a cup.
Now, what other things could we add wheat germ to?
Oh, you can add it on ice cream or just mix it in with some yogurt. You can add
like
it
a nut topping?
Yeah, yeah. You can use it to bread chicken or add it to breadings when you're breading chicken or fish. You can also add it when you're baking into muffins. It'll add fiber too to your diet. So it's definitely something that is worth, adding in where you can. Most of the time you won't even know it's there.
Okay. Okay, great. So now, what's our next ingredient?
So the next thing we're going to do is we need to mix the water, which I'm just going to pour our water in. This is a little over a half a cup of water, and we're going to add our brown sugar. Now, to keep our calories under control, I use the Splenda brown sugar.
Okay.
It's an artificial sweetener, so it doesn't have the calories that a traditional 3/4 cup of brown sugar would have.
Okay.
Okay. And you can get that right in the grocery store as well. So we're just going to mix those together. And what we want to do is, so it dissolves well, is we want to heat it in the microwave on high for about 4 minutes, just to make sure that it's dissolved. Now, watch your microwave. Everyone's microwave is a little bit different as far as how quickly it cooks things. So you do want to bring it to a boil. And then when it's done, just let it sit for about a minute.
Okay. Well, let's put that in the microwave now. Okay, we have this out of the microwave and it's cooled a little bit. Now what do we do?
Right. So then we're going to add a little bit of salt. It's about 1 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to drop that right in there.
Okay.
And then for flavor, we're going to add some vanilla. So it's about 4 teaspoons of vanilla. Preferably straight vanilla extract, not the imitation.
That's always more tasty.
Right, less chemicals.
Okay.
And then you can just stir it up or give it a little swirl to mix all those flavors. And we're just going to dump it right into our granola mixture that we had before. Now the fun starts. Take off your rings. You're gonna
you're gonna
let me get all dirty.
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna have all the fun.
So you take off your rings and you just get right in there and you want to mix all of this up.
Okay, I have a registered dietitian in my kitchen. So what are we doing with the American diet? What are we doing wrong? What suggestions would you make?
First suggestion would be to watch our serving sizes. If you go to any restaurant now, they give you 2, 3, maybe 4 times a normal portion size at a serving. Actually, years ago, my husband and I used to go to a restaurant that served pasta. And their basic pasta dish came with a pound of pasta for 1 person.
My family.
So that's just too much. So something you can do to watch your serving sizes is when you go to a restaurant, when your meal comes to you, look and make sure that, you know, kind of eyeball it and figure out what 1 serving would be, and either ask for a box up front or just kind of cut that part off and just eat from that and take the rest home for leftovers. You can have more than 1 meal from the cost of that meal at the restaurant. The other thing that I think is going wrong with the American diet is that years ago, we didn't have all this processed food and all these chemicals that are used to make up, you know, different flavors and smells and stuff. And so our bodies aren't designed to use that. So what needs to happen is we need to go back to the basics. Go back to fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, cooking from scratch, not as much boxed items. And I think that would help with the obesity rate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that and the portion sizes I think would be the 2 biggest.
Like making your own granola,
Like making your own granola, yeah.
Well, even the price of granola in the stores, probably were mixed really well, but even the prices in the stores for something like this, what did we have, 5, 6 ingredients on this? Correct. I mean, and now you have something for your family. You could put in a container and have it for the week, 2 weeks.
Right, you just want to keep it in an airtight container in a dry area.
Okay.
So then you're going to just take your parchment paper covered trays. Okay. You're going to scoop about half of the mixture onto each tray.
Now this is a big portion, right? Mm-hmm. So we could even do this half if we want.
You could, or double it if you're if you have a big family, or if you want to even use it as gifts.
Oh, good idea.
You can have it packaged up. Okay, so we just do that and spread it out on the sheet. I'm going to let you get your hands dirty too, Sally. Here, let me take that for you.
Okay.
I'll push it aside.
And just spread it right out, right?
Spread it right out. Now, one thing I like to do, and this is just my preference, I like when you have the chunks in the granola. So I squeeze it a little bit as I'm doing it. So it kind of encourages those chunks to form.
That's a good idea. I wouldn't have thought of that.
So, and then just...
Now, I noticed you didn't put any raisins or any of the, anything like that. Yeah, dried fruit.
You know, I like to add it afterwards.
Okay.
I've tried putting them in water and over-hydrating them and then baking them, but they just don't come out, it doesn't come out the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to bake these, and then when it comes out, we're going to go at that point and mix in raisins, craisins, dried pineapple, whatever you'd like, apricots, dried apple.
I mean, you can imagine it for your family.
Exactly, exactly. So we're going to bake these first.
Okay.
For about 45 minutes to an hour. You want them to be toasted and golden brown. And then when it's done, you just take them out and then we'll mix it at that point.
Okay, well let's put this in the oven. Okay. And our next step will be making our parfaits. Okay, we made a batch ahead of time, so we didn't have to wait for that batch to cool off. So what do we have here? So
this is the granola after it's cooked. It'll be nice and golden brown. And then we're just going to pour it into the bowl.
Okay.
Let's just Okay.
And I'll just take that with the parchment.
Got it?
Yes.
And then we're going to add in the cup of dried cranberries, or again, any kind of fruit that you like that's dried. We're just going to give it a stir.
Now this is where you could be creative with your family too. If they like dates or if they like raisins more.
Right.
Yeah. These are the cherry flavored craisins. So.
Yeah, and this is really it. And like you said, be creative. If you want to make it a little bit fancy, it won't be quite as healthy. You can throw in some dried raisins or chocolate covered raisins.
That was my suggestion.
That was your suggestion. I know, I'm stealing that one from you. You can always turn it into a kind of a trail mix sort of feel, and add some miniature chocolate chips. Go with the dark chocolate, it's healthier. But you can really be creative and mix and match different flavors. So you might, if instead of vanilla extract, you can use an almond extract. There's so many banana extracts. You can try different things and see which one you like.
And again, great recipe, nice and simple. And much better than the store-bought. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Shelly, let's assemble our parfaits.
Okay, so to make a parfait, it's very simple. First, you're going to start with some granola, which we've pre-made. You're going to scoop it into the bottom.
Okay. We're going to each make one and see who can make the best parfait.
And then when you're done with that, Sally, you can take some fruit.
Okay.
And again, the fruit can be anything that you have in the house, anything that you like. There's no really right or wrong. I'm going to use the fresh berries.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and then we're going to use some kind of sweetener. In this case, we'll just drizzle a little bit with agave. Agave is made from the agave plant, so it's good if you're a vegetarian because it's not made from bees, which are considered animals. It's good for vegetarians. Also, it has a lower glycemic index than sugar and lower glycemic index than honey.
Okay.
So you can use honey. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you wanted to make it a little bit healthier, you can go with the agave.
Now, is this an alternative for diabetics?
It could be because it does have a lower glycemic index. But there's still some controversy around that, so use it with caution, but it's definitely better than table sugar.
Okay. So just a little bit. Yep. As you can see, it's a little sticky.
It's sticky. Sticky, just like, it's very similar in consistency to honey. And then you're going to go ahead and top it with some yogurt. Again, whatever kind of yogurt you like. In this case, we're using vanilla.
I really like the vanilla flavor for the yogurt. Now, I've actually made this for my family when they came over for desserts, and they love it. And we're the kind of family, the big desserts, the big meals, and people really appreciate it, something a little bit lighter. Okay.
And you can dress it up. You can add,
and now
chocolate
we start all
shavings
again.
to the top. Yeah, then you're going to make a whole nother layer.
Okay.
Oh, shoot, I got some on the side.
Mine isn't so bad. Okay. And another layer of fruit.
And there's no right or wrong as far as measuring out. In this case, though, you want it to look pretty, not like mine with yogurt all down the side.
I do too. So. Okay, and one more layer. Okay, another thing while I have a dietitian. Everybody's bringing lunches now, saving money. They want something a little bit healthier. Any suggestions?
So many people are eating out because it's convenient, whether it's, dinner or for lunches, because it's hard to make lunches, especially if you're trying to get kids off to school in the morning. So one thing I like to do at my house is to make an extra serving or two when I'm making dinner. And what it allows me to do is take that then for lunch the next day. It may cost a little more than if you're going to go run to a sandwich shop. But the difference is that you know what's going into the food you're making for your family. So it allows you to have, a healthier meal. Even though it's a little bit more expensive, it's going to pay off in the long run because you're not going to end up fighting different kinds of diseases that come with obesity. Things that come with just not keeping your body healthy. So you end up paying for it in the end. So a little bit extra up front and getting good fresh ingredients is definitely better than trying to play catch up when it's too late.
Okay, so some good advice.
And now, I see you put some strawberries on the top. What I like to do is just a little bit of cinnamon, just sprinkle it on there. But you can do whatever. You can do chocolate shavings if you'd like.
Chocolate's always the best.
Chocolate's always good. If you like vanilla beans, you can always make a decorative little thing with vanilla beans. Some granola on top. So there's our finished products.
They look pretty good.
They do look good, I know. Is it time to eat yet?
Now this is my favorite part of every show, when we get to taste the product. And one of my favorite things, the parfaits.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I can't get into mine. Mine has all the strawberries.
Oh, see, that's a good part. This is delicious. This is a great idea, a good recipe for the granola. And thank you so much for all your good tips on nutrition for the house. And thank you again, Shelly.
You're welcome. Thanks again for having me.
And thank you for joining us at In the American Kitchen.